Right, guys, we're doing extreme. What's the
extreme super ultra review?
That we're doing Fallout 4 today. Turn the sound off for this real quick. So I got the chance to play through Fallout 4 a couple of weeks ago. We've been obviously.
When you say through, you mean you've like beaten the story mode, or just played a bunch of it?
Most of it. I got annoyed with one of the choices I had to make in the later game, but I found out. In fact, I'll come to that later because I'm actually not as mad as I initially was about it now. So I assume you have questions, or?
I do. Well, first of all, what were your thoughts on the game? How much of the Fallout franchise have you played leading up to this?
I've played all of Fallout 3 and I played a fair bit of Fallout 2.
So how does this compare?
You can't really compare it to Fallout 2 because Fallout 2 was a completely different game. It wasn't an FPS.
Okay, was it like a third-person strategy?
No, well, kind of. It was like a tactical game.
Okay, turn-based. Got it.
Like it was a very tactical type of game. It was a bit different.
So how does 4 compare to 3?
I like it much, much more.
Okay.
It's for a couple of simple reasons. It's not for anything, crazy. It's that mainly the world doesn't feel as dry as Fallout 3 did. Fallout 3 felt very just bleak, and I know it's
You're right.
I know it's like a nuclear war zone, post, but Fallout 4 manages to bring that across and have some colour in its cheeks.
You mean so you're walking around and you go over a hill, and instead of being nothing, there's like a cave of monsters or bandits or something?
And just the colours that are used.
Oh, so it's literally more colourful. Okay.
Yeah, literally more. I know. Obviously, it has to use brown and stuff, but then as we're seeing here, you're on an airship, and you're looking over everything, and you can see the sea, and it just feels so much more life to a lifeless place.
Airships are cool.
It's nice to actually look over and see that the map that you live in this game actually has at least some kind of life in it. While in Fallout 3 you'd walk around for hours not encountering anything, and it just kind of got depressing. Not that that's a bad thing, but I didn't like it. I like to, I don't expect it to be all sunshine and rainbows because it's post-apocalyptic scenario, but it's nice to have a bit of colour in the game again.
That makes sense. So I know you've had you did not like The Witcher 3 because of the combat, right? You said
that was one of the many reasons.
Okay, so I know I didn't like Skyrim because of the combat. How does this Bethesda game, how does this combat feel?
So Bethesda games, or the problem with Bethesda games, I should say, is that because of the scope of them, it's really hard to also fit in an innovative combat system. It's hard to get on top of everything.
It doesn't have to be innovative, as long as it just feels decent.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I will say I don't like is the aiming in it. Sometimes it feels like you aim better hip firing than down the sight, because when you aim down the sight, it's everything else around you goes blurry and it's hard to focus.
Okay. I've also heard melee's kind of not worth it. Just underwhelming compared to the...
I haven't used melee at all. Maybe if ghouls like chasing me, I'll
you'll bash it with the gun.
Back. Yeah. I mean, obviously the biggest difference in this game to 3 is what we're seeing here, which is the base.
Yes, this is the part that appeals to me the most.
I wouldn't say it's...
I heard it's like the buggiest rich thing in the game, probably, but it's also the newest and cool. So.
Definitely is, but the problem is it's foreshadowing. If you get a game as large as Fallout 4, it's obviously not going to do something like this amazingly well. It does it to an okay degree. I mean, I didn't really mess with it, but it's not my type of thing. I mean, I don't want a house, and that's about it. But,
you have more than one base, right?
Yes, but this is the main one here, Sanctuary.
Okay. Because I can't imagine going through this much work multiple times. Like, once I build my house, I don't want to build my house again.
Oh, no. Basically, it's, as you see at the top, you've got beds, water, food. So what you actually have to do is build generators to power everything, and you need to build water pumps so your civilians have stuff to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have to do this at all your bases, but it's an extra thing.
Okay.
Sometimes one of your bases will get attacked, which means that you might have to put some defenses up.
And what are the benefits to having a base? Do the people give you resources, or do they? Or they project power, right? You can call in like artillery strikes and stuff.
Yes, you can. They give you not infantry, but power of sorts. You can call upon people. Like, for example, the Brotherhood of Steel give you like a flare gun.
Okay.
And if you shoot the flare gun, then you get help from the Brotherhood of Steel.
Cool.
But this, I wasn't looking for someone who was really looking forward to this mechanic. I can only assume that they probably weren't amazingly impressed by it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would assume since it's Bethesda that they're like, this is a good idea, we'll put it in the game. But then it's just gonna, other games that like the games that's focused on like city building are just gonna blow it out of the water. So it's gonna be like a crappier version of other games.
There was a great quote by Zero Punctuation, actually. I know I go on about him a lot, but he said that in the E3 conference they were talking up how you can, basically the freedom you have in Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, but a game that focuses on absolute freedom is a game that focuses on absolutely nothing, which I think is a great thing. Any game that focuses on so many stuff tends to fall short.
It's not focused.
Yeah, exactly. It tends to fall short when you bring the whole thing together.
Totally.
Because it's got so many things wrong with it at that point, because it didn't do the combat.
Like everything's
mediocre. Cooks. Yeah. Like, it turns out usually that everything's mediocre, but nothing stands out.
Yeah.
But Bethesda don't really have that problem. They usually have pretty solid most things. Not the best in the world.
They're passable.
But they're good enough to, especially for a game the size of Bethesda games, it's rather quite impressive. So one thing with the base building is you have to go around. So this view here, you can only see when you're in your bases. You can't use this mode anywhere in the world.
First person mode? What are you talking about?
It's like building mode.
Oh, okay, right.
You'll actually see a green, area where you see them green things in the back.
That makes sense.
That's once you go out there, this doesn't work.
That makes sense.
Basically, to get materials to build stuff, you actually we see here, you scrap stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're in a base kind of thing, do you know on the minimap, whenever you get to a thing with an icon?
I don't. I mean, I saw the minimap, so I saw icons.
Well, so if you go to anywhere with an icon, usually that warrants you being able to go into this mode and scrap stuff and get steel and stuff like that. But me, I didn't mess with it too much, so there you go. I mean, some people might like it. I can't see a dude who likes space building being overly impressed by this.
Mm-hmm. So what makes you like this game?
The story.
The story, okay.
I will say the dialogue has the problem that all Bethesda and BioWare games have.
I've actually heard it's a little worse in 4. With the so when I say it, I mean because in this game, unlike in previous Bethesda games, if you had a skill that was at level X, it would unlock extra dialogue options. In Fallout 4, it's a chance, right?
Yeah, but the higher your perception is or whatever,
but
the more chance you have to do it.
So this is fine. The reason it's broken, in my opinion, in Fallout 4 is because you can save the game mid-conversation. You can just try a thing over and over again until you succeed at it, no matter what your skill is.
That's what I did. Where the part of this is obviously the companion thing, where you can build a relationship with companions.
Yes.
If I did something or said something that a companion really didn't like, it auto saves every 2 minutes, so I just go back and redo it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna call it save scumming because that's what it's called, but I'm all for it. If the game's dumb enough to have it in there, I'm gonna do it.
I don't even dislike that very much. I mean,
so
what? It gives you.
I don't dislike save scumming, but I do think it's. I don't like the way it kind of invalidates that skill thing. Like, I have no reason to put points in charisma if I can just save scum through it.
But I will say that certain, do you know if a bar's red, you know if the dialogue's red, if you don't have a high perception or whatever, you will just have no chance of doing it.
Sure, yeah, that's totally.
So there is some, I see what you mean, but there is some.
Okay.
something. But the problem that this dialogue has, in just like every BioWare and thing, is that whenever you get dialogue options, it always has a one-word thing.
The emotional,
like sarcasm.
Sarcasm's super vague.
Yeah, like you don't know what they're going to say. So
is
you
it
might
positive
think
sarcasm or negative
you might
sarcasm?
think they might be playful, but then they come off as an arsehole.
Yep.
So I was saying this as during the playonultra podcast last week. I've been playing Dreamfall Chapters.
Right.
And the great thing they do is every time you have to pick a choice, it slows down the game to an almost stop. So you could like normally it's timed, where you can just take however long you want, and whenever you hover over a dialogue option, it shows you a preview, not exactly what they'll say, but an idea of what how they say it and what connotation they're using it in.
Yeah.
I like that, because then I'm not blindly saying things that I don't know what.
Totally. I mean, there's already a mod for Fallout 4 which does that. It replaces the options with the exact text your character will say if you choose that option. Which
is great and all, but I don't think that's a point in its favour.
No, it's totally not. Yeah. It's a point against it, actually. Like, if they had to make a mod for it, you should have done it yourselves.
Exactly. Most fanboys forget this. The fact that if your game is only good... I'm talking to Skyrim here. If your game is only good with mods...
Which it's not. I mean, Skyrim's good without mods, but...
I think it's mediocre without mods.
I mean, I didn't like it, honestly. I couldn't play it very much.
That's a different argument. But anyway, if your game is only good with mods, like great with mods, it's not a good game. It's as simple as that.
Right. So
the community had to make your game good.
Is Fallout 4 great without mods, then? You say yes?
Certainly.
Okay,
I haven't
good.
even used them.
Cool.
I will say I've never liked survival games for that. I don't like having to go scavenging for ammo and stuff. I don't like it being thrown in my face, but I don't like having to spend an hour getting all the ammo for my next mission. So it's just not something I like.
What like difficulty setting are you playing on?
I play on hard. I always play on hard. I always start at the hardest, and if it gets too hard, then I bring it down. I don't go the other way. But it's not that difficult. As per fucking usual, the fucking VAT system makes it really, really fucking easy to kill anything. I mean, as we see here, perfect timing. Look, there we go. I mean, it's the VAT system made sense in Fallout 1 and 2 because it's a strategy
absolutely.
game. It wasn't a first-person shooter. It just breaks up the pace of the game for me. I use it because it's there. I'm going to exploit it.
Totally. The game's balanced around it. You kind of have to.
Yeah, I have to because it's the only real way to get rid of really powerful enemies.
Right.
But I don't like that I have to use it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to have to.
I like that it's fairly unique, but I don't like it.
I wish it wasn't just as powerful as it is.
Yeah. I wish the mechanics were a little better.
They did kind of change it in the fact that at least it's slightly harder to use in this. In Fallout 3, it used to stop time dead.
Oh, okay.
Now it just slows down time, so you can at least still get hit and stuff. So it's slightly harder, but it's still bullshit. Like in terms of and it breaks up the pace of the game. I think.
Yeah, totally.
Constantly slowing down the game to hit headshots and stuff. It just breaks up the pace a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it plays more like a turn-based game than most other FPSs.
Yes, but I will say the world building is really fucking good. Like here, I'm in a place called Glowing Sea. Oh, it's just beautiful. I love this. I love this design.
Of the terrain?
Just everything, like all the storms and
the lightning's pretty cool. Yeah, that's supposed to look amazing. Very Diablo.
And there's two of them, I thought. But it's just like, it's just so well done with the world building. I did say back when Witcher 3 came out that the world building was really, really good, but it just was lacking the dialogue and the personable protagonist.
That is how I felt about Skyrim.
Yes, certainly. The dialogue, especially when you walk past random NPCs and just spat the same shit.
Yes.
It's like, oh god, move on to something else.
How is like I heard one person complain briefly that like selling things in this game is annoying because you hear the same dialogue so much and it's really easy to skip and make them like misclick. Okay.
When you played Skyrim, you just kind of learn to live with that, I guess.
Probably.
But I just love. This is basically. I don't like RPGs. You know this. I enjoyed this game.
Cool.
I really did. I mean, I was saying to you, I played it for like 15 hours one day.
Right. Yes.
Oh god, it's just I still hate the weight system. But I guess I know it's necessary, but I don't like it. I don't like having to drop half of my inventory in the middle of a mission to pick up something I need.
Yeah, it's one of those lines between realism versus just annoying, you know.
But I hate that. I don't like how realism has taken over the gaming world. Can you remember in FPSs when you used to be able to carry, like in this one, this is pointing in its favour. Can you remember when you used to be able to carry 12 weapons at once, and you have to have med packs, and there was no regenerating health? Those were the days. This is what an old shooter would be today. But you know, obviously, it's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I don't know. I like the idea of encumbrance for like, I have to go out and do a mission. I have to carefully choose what I'm going to take with me. I don't like it in an exploration game though, because if I'm exploring things, I want to take things back with me, and having to not take things back with me sucks.
And it's not just that; it's the fact that because they've brought in the building system. Mm-hmm. They brought in crafting and stuff, so you can craft gun mods and stuff like that. So, which means you have to pick up items. So, specifically, like a telephone, for example, if you pick up a telephone, you can break it down into scrap for like ceramic, or you can break it down into like screws. Mm-hmm. So you have tons of different stuff. So you're constantly having to pick up all these heavy telephones and biomechanic scanners, because you need them to build stuff back at home.
And you can't break them down until like you're at your workbench.
No, but if you're out on a mission, then you just have to carry it around with you. Yeah,
that's really annoying.
So yeah, like I said, it makes sense that it has an encumbered system. I just don't like it. It annoys me.
And the crafting system, like, I don't think any game has really done a crafting system I like. Most crafting systems get to the point where it's like, I need to make 20 of the same thing just to get my skill higher.
The thing I like about this crafting system is that it's not really that big of a deal.
Okay.
You have guns, you have gun mods. You can only build certain gun mods if you have certain talents. And it requires screws or ceramic.
Is there a trainer, or do you just experiment with bits and it makes
every time you level up, you go on your perk tree.
Got it.
And you can put a point into, for example, most of the heavy gun mods for like a laser gun for like this, you'll need a gun nut level 2, so you're a gun nut. So you need that to make all the high tech stuff. As per usual, it's way too easy in this game to find one gun that shreds through every fucking living thing and stick with it.
Sure.
This laser gun is fucking bullshit. I found it an hour into the game. It's the only gun I've upgraded, and now it shreds through shit like no tomorrow.
I've heard the laser guns are pretty ridiculous.
They are, and then you get the plasma guns, which are even more bullshit. And then that gun you saw earlier, that's a Gauss rifle. Takes down death claws in like 3 hits.
It looked really sexy.
It's dumb. You hold it down and charge it. As soon as it gets to 100, it does like a third.
Do you have to be in power armor to use those? Or
nope.
Okay.
Power armor has. I actually like how they've used power armor in this, because usually when you get your power armor, it makes you bullshit as fuck. But in this game, it just reduces how much rads you take and stuff like that, and how much damage you take. So if you're in a bodysuit, in the glowing sea, there's tons of radiation. So if I wasn't in a power suit, I would almost instantly die.
Okay, that's really cool.
And you find the power armor, unlike in Fallout 3 where you have to work for your power armor, they just throw one at your face in the first mission.
Well, it's kind of like a built-in easy mode-ish for certain things. Like, if this is too hard, I'll just come back in the power armor.
Yeah, exactly. But it's only basically for the rads.
Yes. I didn't know the rad thing at all. I like that correlation a lot.
Because the rads I hate the rad system. I like it, but it's annoying at times. Like, it's just because do you know how the rads work?
No, I don't.
So certain parts of the map have radiation, and if you stay in the radiation, it reduces your maximum health bar.
Okay.
Until you use an item called Radaway,
Got it.
Which takes away your rads. Makes sense. You know, it's well implemented. You don't take too much rads from most things. It's just an annoyance more than anything. You have to keep a couple of Radaways on you at all times. But yeah, for the most part, it's really good. So yeah.
Cool. So you'd recommend this to people?
Oh, certainly. The story building in this is much better than it was in Fallout 3, especially the dialogue. But I would... So I said at the start, I would talk about what annoyed me, and it doesn't annoy me as much now. So there's this... I'm going to do this in a way that it won't spoil anything.
Good.
So basically, there's a point in the game. There's multiple factions. We already know that. And I have a mission for one faction. But then a mission given to me by another faction means I have to turn on the first faction.
Right.
Which means that mission is automatically failed. So the mission objective is continue working with Father. Or I won't see who that is or what. It just basically means I have to carry on working with a certain group of people. But the mission I went to, I had to turn on one faction to carry on this track, and this was just a side mission, to be fair. But I really wanted to complete it. This game proper immersed me. It was a really nice mission that I wanted to complete because I liked the people that were in the mission. Yeah. But it was forcing me to turn on one of two factions. I had to, and I don't like that.
Yeah. This is weird to say, but I actually really like that, but I hate it in long games. Like, one of my favorite games of all time, early this year anyway, was Westerado, and it does it all the time, but the game's only like an hour long, so that's why I love it. Yeah, and a game like this, where the ramifications last for the next 40 hours of your gameplay, it sucks.
It sucks. And it's not that I appreciate it. You have some hard decisions have to be made, but I don't like it when it interferes with other gameplay.
Right.
It annoys me. But apparently I've been told that if you carry on with the other people's side quests, then that will not become a problem, essentially. So now it's not that big of a problem. So I don't know if that's true. I haven't tried it, but I've heard it's not as bad as I initially thought.
Okay.
But that did annoy me. It made me stop the game, actually. That's what made me stop playing the game. I didn't want to have to. I don't like being forced. You've played
since you stopped, then?
Or only to make this.
Oh, okay, interesting.
RPGs are the type of games where I'll get really into them for a week and then never play them again.
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't play a game like Skyrim for 300 hours. I can't do it. I get bored.
I gave it 15.
I played it for like 50 hours and I was bored to tears. I played this for 46 hours. Enjoyed it. I didn't stop because I didn't like anything in particular. I just didn't play it one day. You know? I stopped playing it one day because I was like, I need to go to bed. Woke up the next day, just never played it.
Didn't feel
forgot about it.
Yeah, I mean, with long games, I guess that's always the problem. Is like once you feel like you've generally got a feel for the mechanics and stuff, there's not going to be anything super new, super worthwhilely new.
But my friends, actually, I was speaking to one of my friends today about this game. He was saying that it's too short. He says that he wishes it was longer. He's the type of guy who plays Skyrim for 300 hours.
Is there replay value? Like if you tried a different build, or no?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't know what exactly becomes available after all the quest logs are done.
Oh yeah, that could be like a new game plus, I suppose.
Yeah. He said that he's played it for 80 hours and he's completed all of the quest lines. And he said that isn't long enough. Because Fallout 3 was way longer than that. I think that's crazy. I think 80 hours.
Yeah, that's... You can't... I mean, I'm staggered that Fallout 3 was that long, but 80 hours is more than you typically get for your dollar.
Not for a Bethesda game, I will say. I think that's why he's a big Bethesda fan.
Okay, that could be.
He's been predisposed to 100 plus hour games.
Sure.
So it makes sense that he's not disappointed. He loved the game. He was just like, I wish I got more.
Right.
I wish there was more stuff to do after the 80 hours. But for the most part, it speaks volumes when I play an RPG and really, really fucking liked it. That's because it's my least favourite genre by far.
Well, there's a classic.
That's fascinating to me, because RPGs are kind of typically known for having story as one of their strengths.
I wouldn't... You see, I'd say that most RPGs put story at the forefront, but I would say that most RPGs do stories really badly. Or at least the ones I've played. maybe it's just not my type of story. Because all RPGs are a fantasy with elves and dwarves, elves and motherfucking dwarves.
That's not true. There's
Well,
plenty
a lot
of
of them
sci-fi.
But a lot of them are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I guess there's more fantasy RPGs than like fantasy platformers percentage-wise.
And then you've got the fucking sci-fi. It's only sci-fi or fantasy. They're pretty much the only two genres you're going to get out of an RPG. And I grow bored of those genres very quickly. They're not my type of genres. I like fantasy in the way that I like fantasy. Fantasy's my type of thing, not like elves and dwarves and all this bullshit. I mean, I got over that with Lord of the Rings. I mean,
I think that's a conversation for perhaps the podcast. I think we've reviewed Fallout 4 now. So
yes, we have. Yes.
Yeah. So
yes, I would definitely recommend. This.
Cool.
Yeah, certainly. Even if you didn't like Fallout 3, I would say give this a try.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next review/video.